Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sheep Get Sheared podcast, home of people, politics, and popular culture. I am your host, Austin Creed, and my friends, welcome into the morning show. And, you know, as someone who has their, ears to the ground and I'm in college, I still am on the younger side. I see things that affect people my age all the time. Whether it's I experience it, whether it's I see it because I walk around campus a lot. I like to always walk. Some people like to run everywhere and go jogging. I like to walk. And as I was walking last night, I was walking around campus. I was having a good old time. But you know what I was noticing something. There are so many people who are my age, they're in college, maybe they got student loan debt, maybe they just don't have a lot of money. Is the bottom line. And yet I see them, they're the biggest horn dogs out here. Dudes are horn dogs, and the women are kind of trying to get a bag too. Everybody's trying to get their bag, right? Well, I saw this one dude who's like approaching different girls, and I thought to myself, homeboy's hustling backwards. Now, of course, I wasn't going to go up and tell him that he's being goofy and he needs to stop. He probably was on YouTube watching those pickup artist, game dudes talking about how, oh, you gotta go approach and you gotta lay the game down and, all that kind of garbage, right? Instead of hustling forward, he's hustling backwards. And, I hate to see it. In all honesty, I really hate to see it. Because broke dating is hard and broke dating is stupid. Look, I get it. People, especially when we're young, we like to feel loved. We want to feel valued. We want to satiate the extremely high hormone levels we have. I get it. I do. The problem is, a lot of the biggest mistakes in our lives we make in this stage. We make in our formative years are when we make the biggest mistakes that then impact us for years to come. And, I like to pretend like I'm above all this, but I'm not. I know it could sound like it because I'm talking about it, but I'm not. One of the most difficult things for a younger dude, whether he be in a teenager, early 20s, is this need to have your sexual energy be satiated because as much as semen retention is extremely helpful, it's extremely hard to maintain, number one. And there's research out there that says that, it's not good for your colon in the long run to do it for years and years. So you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. You want to have some kind of semblance of balance, but at the same time, that if you've been paying attention, that women like resources. And when you're younger, in your formative years, college, early days of your career, you're way more likely to get married because when you're younger, you're like, oh, maybe I got 10K in the bank, or maybe I got 15K in the bank, I got student loan debt out my ears, and, I'm not really, even if I get divorced, right, who cares? What I lose, half the 15K I have in the bank? Who cares? I could stand to lose it. Well, let me tell you something. You're saying that right now because you have nothing. But as you move along, you make more money, you become more established, you start finding yourself a little more. Your self-improvement pays off, your investments pay off, your career takes off, all these things. This is when you start to say, hold on a minute, now I got a house. Oh, now I got a couple cars. Oh, now I got a whole investment portfolio. You gonna split half of that now too? I'm learning actually in civil law right now how crazy the divorce courts are rigged against men. It's ridiculous. I already kind of knew it, but learning the ins and outs of it is crazy. It's really humbling. And I'm bringing this up because I see so many people around my age and younger, they like to broke date. They don't have jack going on in their life. But they think that they'll define themselves as a man if they somehow get between a woman's legs or get her to care about him. then all of a sudden his life's not meaningless anymore. I wrote about this in Biblical Bachelor, the book I have right here. I wrote about this concept of our software not being updated. This idea of we're the same human beings that have existed for thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of years. The problem is we live in a very modern society that's not Stone Ages, not Neanderthal level stuff, but yet our biology has not been updated. Our software says, hey, I need to pass on my genes. Hey, I don't know how long I'm going to live. And so when I'm young, I got all these hormones, I got all this stuff going on. I need to pass on my genetic material. I need to get settled down now. I need to do all these things now. Instead of playing the long game, playing the game responsibly so that you can ensure prosperity in the long run, instead of saying, hey, I want it all now because I want to feel good now. Coming from a scarcity mindset, you need to have an abundance mindset and say, hey, you know what? This isn't the right girl for me. I'm going to let her go because I know there's going to be a better one down the road. As I become more successful, as I become more established, I'm only going to win even more. If you're not in a happy relationship right now, get out of that relationship. If you think because you know, oh, I'm going to be complacent, I don't know if I can find anybody better, all that kind of stuff. Again, it's the broke person mentality. Broke dating is stupid because all it does is shackle you to someone else who's probably equally broke, if not broker. And then you have to take care of them and they're going to distract you. So I get it. It's really easy to get distracted and it's really easy to want to be more of a primal person. I totally understand it. I do. When I don't want to say a lecture, I'm not a professor, but when I give a discussion like this out here, I'm talking to you, but I'm also talking to me as well. You know, it's easy for me to act like I'm above all this. I know everything. I'm like some Buddha figure. It's not true. Just because I know what I'm talking about does not always mean that I'm good at following my own advice all the time. And a lot of people, your favorite people on the internet, are the exact same way. I guarantee you, there's so-called game dudes on the internet that love the cold approach and all that other BS. Look, this is not 2016 anymore. Back in the day, it might have worked for you. It worked for me back in the day when I was in high school. Doesn't work anymore. It don't work no more. What it does now is makes you look creepy. You can get caught on camera. And before you know it, you're screwed, bro. And again, when you have to approach somebody, you're trying to sell yourself to them. I know you don't realize that because they don't tell you that. But when it comes down to it, you think guys who are rich, successful, accomplished, established, do you think they gotta go out there and run game on hoes? No, they don't. No, they most certainly don't. All they gotta do is just pull out their phone and say, hey, come through. Hey, come through. Boom, she at the crib. Now, I'm not saying that so you can be jealous of them. I'm saying it because I want you to say, hey, the girls will always be there, man. And look, I understand, truthfully, I do, that you don't want to lose somebody. You're like, oh, but Austin, if I let her go, someone else is going to get her. Again, it's a broke person mentality. You need to break free of it. It's going to only hinder you. Look, you're going to be living with yourself a lot longer than you're going to be living with anyone else. So why the hell are you going to put yourself in a losing position? Why in the world would you compromise on yourself if you're going to be living with yourself longer than anyone else? I want you to really think about that. You're going to be living with yourself so much longer than anybody else. And yet, we want to play this game of I want to make everybody happy. I want to make everybody feel comfortable. I want to make everybody feel accepted and loved and blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, you don't even feel that way about yourself. You don't even feel that way about yourself. We really need to stop hustling backwards and we need to start paying it forward and investing in our futures. Because at the end of the day, we need to stop holding ourselves back. The economy is rough out here. We need to protect our necks. We need to make sure that we have our own best interest at heart. Otherwise, we're going to be unable to actually help the people that we want to help. You can't help someone else if you can't help yourself. We need to readjust our mindsets because this is what's holding us back. My friends, please, if you're still into broke dating and dating broke bitches, if you're out here being a broke, dusty dude and you're trying to spit game and do all that goofy garbage, please stop it. Please, for the love of God, stop being goofy. All you're doing is wasting your time, my time, their time, and you really are messing up your future. You're really destroying this time that's going to pay dividends later, either good or bad, and it's entirely up to you as to whether you get paid big bucks or get paid nothing. You either pay interest or earn interest. Are you going to pay interest or are you going to earn it? We need to be better out here. Broke dating is not the move. All it does is make you have to trick, play games, lie, cheat. It's so stupid. But I get it. A lot of people, they don't want to take my word for it. I get it. I didn't take other people's word for it either back in the day. And that's what led me to where I am now. I just don't want to see people be in pain if I can avoid it. But unfortunately, some of us need to learn the hard way. As much as I hate to admit it, it's just the truth. My friends, I encourage you to stop broke dating. Stop being a dusty. Stop associating with low class individuals, man, that are holding you down, that are only going to inhibit you every step of the way if you attach yourselves to them. Let's be better out here, and let's stop aping the lowest common denominator, and let's do better. My friends, God bless you. God bless your families. God bless America. Let's get out here, and let's make today better than yesterday, and let's stop being broke, and let's start winning out here. Peace.